The idea of spirit animals is really popular right now. Well, here's a simple method you can use with the animals you feel most connected to, and especially those you really dislike, that's going to help you to discover and activate some of your biggest unexpressed gifts. What is up, you amazing human? My name is Ben Hart, and today's video I'm going to be sharing about how you can use the power of spirit animals to uncover more of your hidden gifts. If you dig the content I'm about to share, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below if you want to see more. And if there's anybody out there in the world you think might benefit from this video, hit the like button, leave a comment. It'll help them find it. All right, so spirit animals. They're very popular and kind of in mainstream in the last 5 years or so. Everyone's talking about their spirit animal and their spirit animal tests, and there's lots of guided meditations and journeys you can do, and there's rituals and ceremonies, and spirit animals is just more in the popular thought. And so what I want to just do is, there's so much there around spirit animals, and there's so much there in Native American traditions that I really want to be respectful to. And actually where I'm coming at it from in this moment is from more of a psychological perspective. So before I go into that explanation and uncover how you can and support you and how you can uncover more of these deeper gifts for yourself, what I want to do is just invite you to think of one or two animals that you feel like, a spirit connection with, or you feel like a psychological heart connection with, animals that you admire, animals that you feel drawn to, animals that you really love. Just think of, one or two animals like that, just so you have these in mind before I go into this explanation. And, so just, put an animal or two in mind that you feel like might be kind of like an archetypal spirit animal, totem animal for you. And then I actually also want you to think of an animal or two that you feel really repulsed by, that you feel really resistance to, that you don't like, that maybe you're scared of, or you have judgment toward or disgust about. So it's kind of the opposite of the animals you feel drawn to, and then also think of an animal or two that you feel repelled by, repulsed by, fearful of. Okay, so got an animal or two on each side of those? Great. So to begin, I just want to share, I've talked about this in other videos, but this is the idea of psychological projection. In very simple terms, this idea is that when there are things in myself that I am not willing to fully own, fully confront, fully feel, fully integrate in myself, I project them onto the outside world, I project them onto you, I project them onto other people. So for example, if I'm angry, I might think that someone I'm speaking with is angry, and I'm like feeling their anger. Or if I'm sad and not fully owning it, I might feel like someone else is sad and I'm attuned to their sadness, or I'm projecting on sadness to them. And so the idea is that there's things that I'm not willing to fully own, that we're not willing to fully own, get projected onto the world around us. And it tends to be thought of in negative terms, like the negative fear I don't want to feel, the negative anger, the negative sadness, I'm projecting that out onto the outside world. Well, the fact is that there's also this idea of positive projection. So there are things about myself that I'm not willing to own that are positive, that I might not be willing to own my power or my creativity or, my intelligence, and I project it on to the world around me. I project it on to other people. So I'm able to see, that person's intelligence, but it's actually a projection out of my own inability to see it in myself. And that doesn't mean that they're not intelligent. It just means that I'm actually not willing to fully integrate that into myself. Or, someone else's creativity, there's a way that I am honed in on someone else's creativity because I am rejecting it myself, and I'm not fully integrating it and seeing it. So there's positive projection happening all the time. And, there's certainly times when it can eclipse what's actually outside of us. So we can actually not see somebody clearly because of both negative projections and positive projections. We can think that somebody has a quality, has an attribute that is really positive that might not actually be there in the same way that it would be if we actually owned it in ourselves. So from this idea of projection, there's a lot there to uncover and discover about how we relate to ourselves and how we relate to the world. I want to move into the animals. So with these animals that you feel really drawn to, with the ones that you would think of maybe as a spirit animal for yourself, what I want to offer is that there is positive projection happening with those animals. So, for example, for myself, years ago, I was thinking about spirit animals. I was working with a number of shamans through the work I used to do at the Shift Network, where we were creating online programs with these shamans, and they were sharing with the world. And we were talking about spirit animals, and it got me thinking about this much more deeply. And I was recognizing how an animal that I'd felt really drawn to as a child that I had kind of disowned was the tiger. And I really loved tigers as a kid, and I just felt really drawn to them. And there was a way that I realized, oh, I actually feel drawn to tigers, and there's places there of positive projection that I'm not owning in myself. Like when I think of tiger, I think of the primal power, and I also am really drawn to and think about the like beauty of a tiger. You know, a tiger is like so gorgeous, so beautiful, and it's almost like it's this like kind of like full on with like, I am epic and I am beautiful and I am powerful and I am awesome and I am like gorgeous, and just like there's no holding back when I think of tiger, when I feel into tiger, and what I am drawn to about tiger. It's just like gorgeous power. And so what I realized through this process, thinking about the positive projections, was there was a way that I was disowning my power, disowning my like primal, physical, like full-on masculine, like presence, epic, like full-onness. And even as I talk about it, there's still places where I don't fully ground into it and own it. And it's been such a beautiful thing to begin to own the primal power of the tiger lives in me. Like I was a huge athlete when I was younger, and I really felt that aspect of myself more. And then as I went to my career and got more into yoga and meditation, there are places where I disconnected from more of that primal power that has come up much more online in the last 5 years for sure, especially since having this realization. And so and along with that, I also felt the place where I was disowning kind of more of my kind of self-assured, confident, flamboyant, full-on, like I am awesome part of me, like the part of me that was just like, I'm fucking great, and like feel it and shine it, and like the stripes of the tiger, just beautiful. And so actually, as I like took on the tiger more and felt the ways that I was disowning some of these qualities, I like stepped more into my performer, stepped more into, being public in the world through the company I was a part of, and just it like allowed me to step more into that part of myself that could just shine, like the majesty of the tiger, the primal power full on of the tiger. And so that's just a bit of my story of like the ways that I was disowning parts of myself onto this tiger that I was able to integrate back through honoring my connection to it. And so what I invite you to do right now is just think of the animal or two that you feel this connection with, that you feel a spirit connection with. Whether it's a sparrow, whether it's an otter, whether it's an elephant, whether it's a dog, whether, there's so many, a dragon, there's so many different types of animals that have so many different types of qualities. So it doesn't have to be something huge and big like, a lion. There's so much simplicity in a sparrow that there could be like gentleness, there could be tenderness, there could be beauty, there could be, I don't know what a sparrow would mean to you, but whatever your animal is, I just want to invite you to find the qualities that you admire about it. What are the energies that it holds for you that you really recognize, and how can you see it in yourself? Where might you have disowned that in yourself? And actually in seeing it in the other is the opportunity for you to fully own that. Own that gift, own that beauty, own that power, own that talent, own that uniqueness. So I invite you to take that forward as we complete this video, and after you leave here is like really think about that, because there's more I want to say about animals you don't like, but just taking the ones you do like and inquiring into that more and more will be huge for uncovering your deeper gifts. So alongside that, the animals you don't like, the animals you feel repelled by, the animals you might feel disgust about, just as equally, they hold projections and ways that you can claim back some of your deeper power and your deeper gifts and your deeper qualities. So, with the positive animals, we were talking about this kind of idea of positive projection. And then with these other animals, it can be a mix of positive or negative projection. So take, for example, for me, two animals that I had big realizations around this with were the shark and the pig. So the shark is like, I remember seeing Jaws as a little kid. I was like, the one animal I was scared of in the world is a shark. Just like being in the ocean, out of my depth where I can't move very easily, and like a mouth coming and attacking me just sucks. So super not into that. And was talking with a friend one day, and she brought up the idea of shadow spirit animals and how they actually reveal parts of ourselves that we've disowned. And it really landed for me. And what I realized is when I think of shark, I think of a kind of like monomaniacalness, just like full on, will not stop, like killer energy. And when I recognized that and actually thought about it as a projection that I was not owning in myself, it opened me up to the world of the part of me that is like a freight train, the part of me that is a killer, the part of me that has the energetic of that no matter what, which put to the right uses is beautiful. Put to the right uses of in service to love, in service to creativity, in service to humanity, in service to life itself. Like that can be a huge gift. And for me to re-own it, to see, oh, the shark is scary to me because there's parts of myself that could just be that full on, is like I am dishonoring all that I am by not having that quality and that talent and that gift and that the potential activated and embraced inside myself. So that's the example of the shark, and it's huge. And for the pig, for me, when I thought of pigs, I always thought of like kind of just like greedy, like oinking in the trough, doing whatever they wanted, just kind of like selfishness and just like self-absorption. And I don't even know exactly, but it was very much a feeling of like, I don't want to be that. And when I realized that, when I thought about that, what I recognized was there was a way that it was not owning that quality and that power and that possibility in myself of what the pig represented was keeping me from actually doing some of the things that I most wanted to do. Like it was a place where I was disowning my honest desires and my honest wants that then in re-owning them led to things like starting a YouTube channel and creating videos and being more creative and having more of the things I want in my life that bring me joy and delight and energy. And so actually now I have, with all these animals, actually I have them all over the place. You can see I have the shark right down here on my bookshelf, and over there I have a painting that my fiance drew of a tiger with kind of my face in it. And then over there in my office, I have a pig who's running off a dock and jumping into a pond, just looking so happy. And for me, it represents like the power of connecting to one's desire and doing it full on. It's like being at play in life. And so for me, like the selfishness that I felt in the pig and that I wasn't able to own became like, oh no, self-connection and the beauty of my authentic desires and the way that I can create my life. And doesn't make me, selfish, it makes me self-connected. So shark, pig, both of them in reintegrating what I was projecting onto them and thinking I didn't want to be or did not like about them opened up huge channels for me around my power, around my self-confidence, around my self-connection, around my ability to choose my life and to create my life the way I want it to. So with animals that you feel repelled by, I really welcome you to feel into what is there for me? Like, what do I not enjoy about them? What am I judging about these animals that might actually be a doorway into something I can re-own in myself? And that one's a harder one for sure, but I really invite you into the inquiry around it. Maybe just take with both sides, with the ones you like and the ones you don't like, write down the things that you feel about those animals. With the animals that you feel drawn to, what do you really admire about them? What qualities do you really see in them? And then begin to see how those are alive in yourself or could be alive in yourself if you fully own them. And with the ones you're repelled by or disgusted by or fearful of, write down the things that you don't like about them. What is it about them that is, turn off to you, that might feel like not something you want in your reality? And then go into the inquiry, which is a challenging one at times, of how might that live in me? What is actually the beauty of that quality? What is actually the beauty of that I could re-own in myself that would open up doorways to more of who I am and more of who I want to be? Make sense? All right, so spirit animals, shadow spirit animals, they hold deep gifts for us as we can re-own the projections we have onto them and fully see that we are those. We own those qualities. We are able to animate those. We are able to embody those, and they can serve our life and they can serve all of life. All right, my friend, I hope you dug this. I hope it was helpful for you. I invite you into that inquiry deeper and deeper and deeper. If you dug this content, want to see more in the future, hit the subscribe button below. And if there's anybody out there you think might benefit from thinking about their spirit animals and their shadow spirit animals, hit the like button, leave a comment. It'll help them find it. Until next time, I'm Ben Hart. Much love.